Or my swapping at the table. How you like that? It wakes everybody up every time. Well, the officers and brothers of the camp, please come to order. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Secretary Treasurer, please call the roll of camp officers.
Commander Rick Stevens.
Yeah.
Senior Vice Commander Steve Bigelow.
Here.
Junior Vice Commander Lynn Scott.
Here.
Camp Council Robert Archibald. Camp Council Dennis Diatley. Camp Council John Horton. Here. Secretary Treasurer Dale Enlow. I'm here. Chaplain Dave McKee.
Hi.
Color bearer Jeff Stedman.
Here.
Counselor Tim Prater.
Here.
Guard David Moore.
Here.
Guide David Williamson.
Here.
Memorials Officer Avery France. And Patriotic Instructor Jim Heller.
Present.
Eagle Scout Coordinators Tim Prater and Steve Bigelow. Here. Commander of the roll was called.
Please announce our brothers joining us via Zoom.
Looks like past Department Commander Jim Heller. Past Camp Commander Bill Smith. And our Senior Vice Commander Lynn Scott.
Junior Vice.
Junior Vice. Sorry.
I took a demotion.
He just got promoted.
Again. Brothers, upon what principles is our order founded and what duties do we instill?
Fraternity, charity, and loyalty.
All rise, please. Brother Prater is standing in for our chaplain today. Our opening prayer, please.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, the high and mighty ruler of the earth, who looks down upon the government of men, we earnestly ask you to bless our native land, preserve in purity and integrity its free institution for all coming times. Bless all order. Pray that it may long exist, and that it may continue to be an instrument of great good to all. Give us willing hands and ready hearts to carry out properly its principles and objectives. Keep green in our minds the memory of those who sacrificed so much that the life of the nation might be preserved, and deal with them as in all things. This is special worship. Give us your aid in conducting the business for which we are assembled. And so bless that charity and justice and peace and harmony shall remain and flow from us. I would like to make a special request of this group that we take a moment of silence and remember those who have lost their lives in Texas due to the flooding, the impact on families, the entire state of Texas and our nation. We ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Let us cite the American's Creed as printed in our picture.
I believe in the United States of America as a government of
the people,
by the
by the people,
for the whose just powers provide center of the government, a democracy and republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon the principle of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, which American patriots sacrificed their lives and principles. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country, to love it, to support its constitutions, to obey it, to respect its flag, and to defend against its enemies.
Patriotic instructor.
Please stand and face the flag, please, if you can. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
By virtue and power and authority invested in me, I now declare General U.S. Grant Camp Number 3, Department of the Southwest, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, duly open for the transaction of such business as may legally and properly come before it. Please sit down. Be seated. That's nice. Sorry. Let's see what's going on with this. Oh. Oh. Welcome to our new little tight quarters venue here, but the price is right. Augie's has given us this lovely room at no charge, and for a couple of meetings a year, so we appreciate that. And a little bit more intimate and private from the Hasayampa, even though they did call me and say, "Where are you guys?" It's not there. Well, the deal behind this is that we have been requesting requested a TV for Bob's presentation later on. They couldn't respond to my email. I said 2 different phone calls, no response, no nothing. So I get the hint that we're not one. So thank you for Brother Dave Moore for negotiating Augie's for us, figuring that out. So yay. That's so we're here, and I'm happy we're here. Hopefully later they'll have a lectern or something to help out a little bit, but we'll make it work. And so I guess in the room here we've got Bob. Do you want to introduce your table back there?
I'm Bob Charles. Thank you for asking me to be your speaker a little later today. Anyway, I did bring some guests with me. My wife, Julie Pollard, daughter, Danny Garcia, her husband, Mike, and our close friends, Lee Close, Bill Parkworth. Thanks a lot.
Well, welcome to the room. Brother Dave, you want to introduce your guest?
I want to introduce my great neighbor, because no neighbor can do what he does except this guy Bob, who Tim says is better, but I don't believe it. This is Brother Morgan. Great. I want to introduce him.
Good morning. Dave's wife Laura is also here. My wife Laura is always here, so we got Laura. I guess it's more
Laura Square.
Laura squared. Yeah, there we go.
Jan Swanson.
You signed over. And yeah, I guess soon to be brother. Greg Coleman.
Hey guys.
So he's only a guest for about this much longer. And then we have so a little bit of sad news. If you want to bring up that picture of Brother Rice, Carly, there we go. And hopefully our brothers can see that in Zoom. So on March 15th of this year, charter brother of our camp, Richard Rice, passed away over in Cotton. He was at the Verde Valley Assisted Living. He was 77 years old and a 10-year member of Grand Camp. I would really like to just open up the floor to the folks that knew him. I didn't get a chance to go meet him, unfortunately. I know that Tim, David Moore had gone over to see him one time, which was great. My understanding is as long as you bring him a 12-pack of Coke, you're good. It was the way that was, but Dale, you knew Richard.
Yeah, he was one of the charter members along with me. And I'm sure, brother Dave Swanson here knows a little more about, I think he recruited Rich. But what I remember about Rich was he was very much into history. I believe he was a teacher in the Flagstaff School District, a history teacher, and he really loved passing on his love of history to his students. He was a great guy, and I loved his Zouave uniform.
That's why.
It was really pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like he had that on. Oh, there's a picture in the thing of it. Or in my notes here, so that's kind of nice. So that's it's close to our hearts. It's one of our brothers, even though he wasn't active in the camp at this point in time, but he's still a brother, he's still part of the camp. And we have over 40 brothers, believe it or not, and a lot of them are silent, I guess. This is not
I think the
involved.
last event that I remember Rich being at was when we had our first Memorial Day ceremony, the camp one at Citizen Cemetery in Prescott.
Was it?
Yes, he was there. He and his wife were there.
And it was Bill. I think Bill was the
Yeah.
commander at that time.
Yep, Bill Smith was the commander
Because
then.
we took a picture. So is he in that picture?
Yes,
Oh my goodness, we'll have to dig that picture back up. Well, that's on our, is that on our Facebook page too?
might be.
I see that.
Yeah, I think it's the logo. picture
Yeah.
On the Facebook.
So I'll be darned. How are we doing?
I got
Yeah. Brother Tim.
When I first joined the camp, I had to have lifeless. And I gave it to Dave, because I didn't want it. I wanted to put pressure on Dave. And then Dave went back to me. Rich, I said, Rich, we need some help. And he tore that rifle down, put it back together, and said, just send it. It's a genuine good condition. So because of that, we were able to have a raffle. I don't know how much we made, but I think it was in spite of Dave, because I'm not trying to be mean about it.
Why change?
What? Also, a beautiful tribute, when he went over to Cottonwood, it's really a part of his heart was hurt, because he lost so much of his Christian books and all his memorabilia. But, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but he had about 6 items, and one was the bust of Abraham Lincoln. And he told David and I that bust needs to go to Dale Limbo. And so I gave that to Dale Limbo on behalf of the.
Yes, I've got it on my bookshelf.
I just want Rick to know, if I want to know that, so I can do it. Okay.
And I can, in 2015, when I was organizing grant camp, and I do not remember, I know Dale says that I recruited. For the life of me, I don't remember how that happened, but anyway.
Take credit for it.
He joined on June 9th, 2015. And both he and his wife were educators. They were teachers in the Flagstaff school district. But they also taught at Luke Elementary School up on the Navajo Reservation.
Oh.
So they taught there. He loved history, was very active with other Flagstaff residents. Joe Meehan of the Pioneer Museum, if you remember Joe.
Okay, yeah.
Was another. And there was a group of them that compiled a list of all the Civil War burials at the Citizen Cemetery in Flagstaff.
Oh, okay.
Rich was instrumental in that. And we also taught they loved to dress up in various military uniforms and give talks about this, like his Zouave uniform. He came to the meeting and talked about that. So he gave several presentations, and he was very proud of his membership in the grant camp and his son's Marine veteran.
Yeah.
So it was a great guy.
And if I could add, I had asked him if he would make a presentation to the Prescott chapter of Sons of American Revolution. And he did that at St. Wilfred. He was just a very, very, very good.
He was really into history. Really, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Well, it's good to hear a lot about him, and I guess I met him, and I didn't realize I met him. So that was probably the first or second year that I was here. Oh, well, that's great. So that's Brother Richard Rice, rest in peace, bro. Yes.
Brother Jeff.
Brother Jeff.
Found his picture with David. David and them on Facebook. Sent you a copy of it.
Oh, yeah. That.
So I'm not one.
Well, let's see. What
It's the same picture right there and all that. Say,
Yeah, you were in that one too.
this is,
Next to expand it.
Oh.
Oh, we've got your messages.
so we got messages now. Sorry.
There's my belly. Okay.
See if I can blow that up and get that on the Zoom call here.
This is guy get inducted next to him.
Okay, so there's Brother Swanson and Richard Rice. I'm not quite sure. It's not focusing very well.
Oh, Jack, I just.
Yeah, well, there's a third gentleman there. I'm not quite sure who that is. But a brother, obviously. Do you recognize the third one over there?
That's Jack.
Jack Van Dusen. He's
Oh,
the
that's
one
Jack
that did
Van
all
Dusen.
the bowls. and all
This.
this stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did our
yeah.
gavel work. So
Yeah, yeah.
very nice. Very
Be
nice.
sure and focus in on the guy on the left. He's the most handsome one of the group.
Hey, he was too tall to get in the picture.
All right, thank you, Brother Jeffrey, for those pictures.
You didn't get us to laugh, David.
Oh, technology these days.
Story here too about Brother Rice.
Oh, you know,
Somewhere, and I know some, I don't know, I know. Tim briefly mentioned the rifles that was modernized and cleaned up and presented as a raffle. And then Tim carried it down to Picacho Peak Camp several years ago. He had sold more raffle tickets, and then they pulled out a winner sooner or later. Mine was the one that won the rifle.
yeah,
So under habit, and that's what we tell you is wearing it now. I decided that I've been holding it for several months and showing it to friends, different things. Did I show it to you, Mike? Yeah, flashlight on the rifle, hawking. Anyway, I have a friend down in Tucson who I knew had given away his childhood Black Powder rifle, and he's regretted ever since. He also is a reenactor with the Cowboy Western History Group. His group gets on TV shows and TV commercials and even do movies as extras, cowboy extras. So I took the black powder rifle down there and gave it to him. And he was so pleased to give him that black powder rifle. And I told him, there's one thing you gotta promise. If you take this rifle into a movie set or a TV commercial and it gets on film with you, you gotta tell me so I can see it and share it. Heard from me yet, but the black powder rifle, Tim, is a good thing.
Awesome.
so if you guys didn't quite catch all that, that was the history of the rifle that they were talking about that went to Tim. It was at our raffle up here in Prescott. I believe it was up here, wasn't it? And then they got raffled off, and Bob Cox bought it and he gave it to a friend down in Tucson, and was happy to have that black powder rifle. So it's made its rounds. It's making its rounds. Fantastic.
I can tell you the rest of the story, which is, I forget the gentleman's name, he gave me that weapon. That he was with Sons of Confederacy.
Well, we don't hold it over the head.
That weapon's really got around.
It's gotten around. That's very nice. So let's move on here. Chaplain, do you have a report of any ill brothers or families in need?
I won't say ill, but I just want to wish Bill Smith the very best in with his health, and I'm just glad that you were able to be here with us today. And we're indebted to you for all you do, Bill, and have done.
There you go. You look good. You look.
You guys know I don't drive right now.
Yeah.
It's my right leg, so I don't drive that I injured.
Oh,
And so it'll probably be a few more months yet. Maybe the end of the year before I get behind the wheel.
oh boy.
So I'll be zooming you.
That's why we do the Zoom here, and that it works out. We try to make the technology work for us. One more from a standpoint of going through some troubled times. Our brother Tim has been facing some illnesses, so we're gonna pray for brother Tim as well. And so I'll let you carry on here, brother Tim, with announcing the birthdays coming up here in the next few months. Brother James, I'm really nervous.
I suppose you can probably tell, I get so excited about coming to these elections. I just like every one of you, it's such a unique group. And I'm even gonna say, you know, I'm with the Sons of the American Revolution, but we're all one, you know, and this group has been so outstanding, and I would gotta say thank you to my mentor, David Swanson. Now show me where the birthdays are.
I got you on the spot, though. Second page.
Where's the-
Sure.
First of all, I'd like to tell you, one person that I had the privilege of bringing into the, I'm gonna say the Grand Canyon, was Paul Hellerson. And he turned 87 years old today. And he called me and he told me that he couldn't make it. You know, I don't know. But anyway, he's going to Cut Bank. And everybody, you all know where Cut Bank is, right? Cut Bank, Montana. And the reason he's going, this 87-year-old guy is going to wish his twin, who is 87 years old, a surprise happy birthday. So I just wish Paul Hellerson the very best. He's so proud to be a part of this, even though he lives in Idaho. So, okay. Okay. James Burleson, William Butcher, the Butcher family, what an incredible group. We had Lon and once Van. Van came down and received a scholarship from the Trinity Presbyterian Church for $2,500 a year for 10 years. Actually, it's for 4 years, $10,000. But what an incredible thing. The next person, what can I say? Dale Imlo. He's our guy.
I don't need any more birthdays.
But Dale's just the backbone of our organization. We just thank him so much. Alan Fitch, again, Paul Halverson, Bill Smith, and I've followed Bill everywhere he went, and I doubt if I would have been camp commander had Bill not encouraged me to step up.
I did not go to jail.
Huh?
I did not go to the jail, so you didn't follow me there.
And then, of course, we're going to keep working on a guy by the name of Jeffrey Stetton. We want to make him one day the camp commander. Okay, we're going to keep trying.
My at work keeps telling me I'm gonna be the next chief and all that, like staying up there, and I'm just like,
And our commander, Rick Stephen, the comment I want to make here is that he's given, well, this is your third year now as commander.
Yes, sir.
You know, and he's just given so much, and he's brought technology to our group along with Dale, and I'm going to defer to David.
Yes, I just want to say not only Rick, but his better half. Laura has her birthday in the same month.
Whoa, good. Yeah, we get him. That's it. Happy birthday, Laura.
I knew they were gonna be 39.
Yeah.
Well played.
And I've only met this gentleman once, and that's Forrest Swanson. And I gotta tell you, and I'm trying to be honest with you, David, he is a good looking guy. Not as good, but like. Anyway, I talked to him on the phone a number of times, and he's a very busy man, but this very happy to have him in the phone call organization.
Thank you, brother Tim. All righty. Moving along here, approvals of last, minutes of last meeting. Minutes of April meeting were provided by email. Hopefully everybody got that. If there are no additions or corrections, I move that they be approved as written.
Second.
Second by Dale, all in favor? Aye. Passes, approved. Brother Enlow, if you wanna step up
Okay.
for a couple presentations here for the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report. I just finished up the second quarter and I got all of the signatures from the council and the commander as being approved. Right now in our checking account, we have $3,501.79. I still don't know where that $1.79 came from. Our scholarship general fund has been somewhat depleted. It is down to $930.50 because we just finished awarding two $1,000 scholarships. One went to Northern Arizona University for Peyton Ticini, and one went to St. Louis University for my grandniece, Bridget Enlow. Our current membership now stands at 45. We have 45 members in Grant Camp. We're trying to catch up with Picacho. And 40 of those members are primary. So if we want to continue giving two $1,000 scholarships, we need to sell a lot more 50-50 tickets. Or start getting some donations in. When it comes time to renew memberships at the end of this year, I generally give the option to round up your dues to go to the scholarship fund. And these go to very deserving junior ROTC cadets.
And everyone's been outstanding so far, so that's a
Very
and
good.
normally we have enough to do one a year. We'll have enough for one next year, it looks like. Whether we get enough for a second one, that's between here and there. Which you brought up, the interest part of that was the roundup at the end. So when we renew our dues at the end of the year, if you give a little bit extra on that, that's gonna be nice. That it goes to good causes. One more thing about our brothers now, and in Picasso Peak, I'm hoping that we kind of flip one here because we have brother Ken Hooker, past department commander, is moving up to Prescott.
Aha.
He's gonna live over by the airport, and they've already put him greased.
We can vouch with that.
Doesn't happen to us, so that's sad. But they're in the process of closing on property, and they're gonna be moving up, and so. So hopefully, we'll get him and come up to Flagstaff at the next meeting. You'll just have to, now we just have to work on making Grant Camp the primary camp, right? So you guys still belong to Picacho Peak. We could talk him into that. So that's great. If Brother Dale, if you could do the reading and disposal of orders and other communications.
Yeah. Let me get back to that page. Okay. I think, and I'm not sure which version of the agenda that you all got, but we had two new general orders just came out recently. But since our last meeting, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 general orders come out from National. Order 17 was concerning Memorial Day. General Order 18 was about the combined federal campaign. 19 was about Juneteenth and recruitment and retention, which is apparently is an issue all across the nation for camps to recruit new members and to retain our current members. So keep that in mind with your neighbors, your church members, whatever. Try to help us get up and get above Picacho. Yeah.
We're working on it.
General Order 20 concerned Independence Day. If you have not seen that one, that's a real good general order. They touched on a lot of patriotic things in that general order. But if we'll go on our Facebook, Grant Camp Facebook page, the file, so you can read that. And then General Order 21, which was about our thoughts and prayers for the Texas flooding victims.
Yeah, Brother Tim brought that up. That was just issued within the last couple of days. I did email it out to all the brothers, but I figured we'd cover it here. It's just basically states that the loss of life and devastation from the recent flooding in Texas is now coming into focus. We are unaware of any brothers whose immediate families have been touched, but we are sparing no efforts to determine the impact that it may have on our Texas members. And again, this is from National. Regardless, this tragedy is one that affects all Americans, and our duty to keep the victims in our minds and offer them a heartfelt sympathy and prayers. They're asking us to consider contributions, no matter the amount, to the charities that are reputable, that you trust. Should we become aware of any brother personally touched by this calamity, we will work to provide support to the fullest extent possible. And that is from Kevin L. Martin, Commander of CNC of the SUVCW. So, I can exactly. Right. So
and then since the last meeting, we've only had one department order, and that just concerned the change of command, where our beloved Tim Prater here became past department commander.
Oh,
Is that Mr. Burleson logged in? Welcome.
Well,
Thank
very
you.
good, Tim. I'm glad to see you. And
Thank you.
I'll get over
Happy
the camera
birthday.
again. And happy birthday. That's right. So I was going to take a break, but now that Jim's here, we'll go ahead and proceed with our new member initiation. And we have two brothers today. And pardon me whilst I get my act together here. So if you're ready, Mr. Jim and Mr. Rick, let me please stand.
Standing.
Okay, well, will Brother Greg come forward, please? Soon to be Brother Greg. And Brother Jim is on our Zoom. This is a good place to stand up here, Brother Greg, because that fan is beautiful.
Let's see if I can get you all in the camera here.
There we go. Well, at least these two guys in the camera. There we go. There we go. So if any brother has any reason to question the eligibility or suitability of these brothers, please speak now. Chaplain.
You are now at the altar of the Order of the Sons of the Union Veterans Civil War. Your obligation, and I assure you that it is taking this obligation, it is with not conflict with any duty you may owe your God, your country, or yourself. If you are willing to proceed, place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and state your full name.
I, Greg Pullman.
Hi, Jim Burleson.
In the presence of the great Creator.
In the presence of the great Creator.
In the presence of the great Creator.
And the witnessing member of this camp.
And the witnessing members of this camp.
Witnessing members of this camp.
I hereby voluntarily and solemnly.
I hereby voluntarily and solemnly.
I hereby voluntarily and solemnly
Pledge myself.
Pledge myself.
To
To support and defend
to support and defend
support and defend
the government of the United States of America,
the government of the United States
America,
of America,
to offer my life if the need be,
to offer my life if the need be,
to preserve the flag from being lowered in defeat,
to preserve the flag
from being lowered in defeat,
to always observe the day set aside
to always observe the
set
days
aside
set aside
by the Grand Army of the Republic
by the Grand
Grand
Army
Army
of the
of the
Republic
Republic
as Memorial Day,
as Memorial Day,
sacred to the memory
sacred to the
sacred to the
memory
memory
of the Union soldiers, sailors, and Marines
of the
Union
Union
soldiers,
sailors, and Marines
of 1861 to 1865,
of
of
1861
1861 to 65,
and do all in my power
and do all in my power
to persuade others to do the same,
to persuade others to do the same,
to be faithful in all duties of citizenship,
to be faithful in
Faithful of all
all
duties of
duties of citizenship,
to be obedient to the law of the land,
to be obedient to the
to the
law of the land,
to obey the Constitution and regulations of this order,
to obey the Constitution
Constitution
and regulations
of this order,
and to promote activity,
and to promote activity,
its objects and interests,
its
its
objects
objects and interests,
always and everywhere.
always and
everywhere.
everywhere.
So help me God.
So help
help
me
me God.
You may now lower your.
There we go. Thank you, thank you. You're done. Stay here if you will. The rest of you, please have a seat. All right. So, on the badge of our order, the inscription "Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War" remind us of our the state of our duty to our country. We are the sons of Union veterans. May we prove ourselves worthy of this title. The ribbon is the union of red, white, and blue, the colors of our country's flag. The red signifies the unstinted streams of blood shed that the blessings of a free government might be our heritage, and that our own blood is pledged to preserve the freedoms and responsibilities we so gladly received. The blue tells us of a true faith and allegiance which our forefathers held to their country and to each other, and charges us to be mindful of their example. The white represents peace, which with honor may our country always enjoy. The motto, "Preserved by the grace of God," reminds us that without overruling hand of an all-wise providence, the sacrifices of our forefathers could have afforded nothing, and that God's favor alone can secure the preservation of our liberties. Like the eagle, may we be quick to discover our country's needs, strong in its defense, and swift to carry out the objects of our order. So, Brother Greg, I present to you your rosette.
Thank you.
And pardon me, we just gotta get things out here. Your camp badge. Your name tag. You're somebody, and
I spelled my name right.
Believe me, I had to check and double check.
Yeah.
and your certificate. Brother Jim will be with you just a second. So there we go.
Could you guys just move over here so we can take a picture of all three of you?
So you get to smile, Jim. You're gonna see in this picture.
Okay, okay, let me close the door.
That's good. That fan does feel good. So, brother Jim, hold on just a second here. So I'm gonna hold up brother Jim's stuff and then I'll show you on the camera in just a second here. Who cares? Very good. There we go. So, brother Jim, we will mail stuff to you. Here is your book set.
Cool.
And here is your camp member medal. And we'll, and you're somebody.
Barely spelled his name right too.
That's, well, we better, we'll get in trouble here. Now,
Did I spell his name right?
yeah,
2 for 2?
oh, he's got it spelled right. Believe it or not, one of Jim's cousin I went to school with back in Mobile. So and we discussed that. Brother Jim, you have a let's see this here. There's a certificate that we'll be mailing you, and an ancestor certificate as well. So that will all be coming in the mail, hopefully within the next week or so to you.
I am an associate member.
So
We're still digging.
yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna start with Greg here, give him a chance to say who he is, and he brought up he's associate member. We've been trying hard. Brother Lynn has been working hard trying to find ancestors. We found someone with the same name spelled the right way and the same offspring spelled the right way. It wasn't the right ones. We were off by that much, just that much. But we're still gonna look. So you have the floor, brother.
My name's Greg Coleman. I'm a long-time scouter. My dad started me scouting when I was like 7 years old. And I met all of you guys through scouting, through the Eagle Boards of Review. I met Rick and Hal, Tim, and Kurt Biggies. Okay. And you guys were just outstanding. I couldn't help but come over here and find out more about you guys, and it was just really interesting. It just really turned me on. I just had to become a member. One of the things your organization does is sit on Eagle Boards of Review. And I speak to all you members here. If you would like to have the opportunity and the pleasure of sitting on a board of review, give me your contact information. Talk to Rick or Biggs or Tim or Hal Rediger, okay? And they'll give you some information about what it's like, but it is a very joyous thing to do. It's outstanding to talk to these young 14, 15-year-olds that can think on their feet and they're smart. They got moxie on the ball and more mature than a lot of 35-years-olds that I could name. It's a fun thing to do. And we're just having a great time doing it. So if you're interested in doing that, I'll have a little bit of training for you. I got some guidelines, and the rest of the board members here can guide you through. They're very well experienced. I'm single. My nickname is Patches. I give patches away as a hobby to scouts.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the last celebration of an Eagle Scout, he had his quilt.
Oh yeah. On patch blanket.
Patch blanket. I can't count how many patch
I think there's around 300. There are 3 generations of scouting on my blanket.
easily. Wow. So he gets to wear patches and you call him like Patch Man too, or
Everybody calls me Patches for short, but that's, I'm the Patchman.
I think it's his email address too, Frank.
Oh yeah, my email address is MV Patchman because I'm from Nevada. Okay, I moved over about 3 years ago.
So fantastic. Thank you so much. Brother Wilson.
Born during support to fight for the Union Army.
Say again.
Nevada was born to fight for the Union Army.
Yeah,
That's why they were called
Nevada's the battle-born state.
There it is.
I'm going back. Okay.
So it's perfect too, and all that.
Oh, we got
Because of
something
the
else.
silver.
Hold on, brother Jim, hold on.
Jim, in that you're not here, I'll be mailing what I'll be talking about here to you. So this presentation will be kind of geared at him, but it's really about you as well. A number of years ago, a friend of ours, Jack Smith, made a presentation to Grand Farm. He's an incredible man. And what he did, you know, at the end of the talk, normally we give him something, and we did. And then he pulled out and gave us this. I know you can't see it, but I'll tell you what it is. It's a railroad mail flight. Okay. And on the top is a number. Now I'm going to use you as a guinea pig, but I want you to tell me kind of like what I did with you. Is what is the significance of 28 in your life? I do know, but I'm telling him later.
I can't think of it.
Okay, I'll tell you. That is the year that he was born. He is 97 years old. So with
Oh, I'm in great shape.
so with that said, and like I say, Jim, you're going to get one of these too. But it's such a beautiful thing that Jack did for us. But U.S. Grand Camp 3. And what I did for you. I put an eagle on here because I've only known you for 2 months, and you just touched my life, and you have such an impact on all these Eagle Scouts.
Oh my God.
And then on the other side is a star. Now, what that star means is that just for today, you are a superstar. Jim, you'll be a superstar when you get it in the mail.
Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. Brother Jim, yeah, go ahead and have a seat. Brother Jim, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about you and your ancestors.
I'm Jim Burleson, Santa Fe, New Mexico. I graduated from New Mexico State University with a police science degree, went to work in Farmington for 13 years, came to Santa Fe and took on several nice positions with the Attorney General's Office, the Law Enforcement Academy, Chief of Police of the Motor Transportation Trucker Cops, and Deputy Secretary of Taxation and Revenue. And in my final year, the governor had me be the Cabinet Secretary for the Department of Corrections. So majority of my career has been law enforcement. I am the son of an Air Force Chief Master Sergeant. And if you go up his line, we determined in a presentation we did about 2 weeks ago that there are I have 16 great grandfathers. 7 of them served in the Civil War. And there are 300 people with the Burleson surname that served in the Civil War. And cousins, uncles, grandfathers total, there are almost 3,000.
Wow.
So the person that I chose was my third great grandfather, Levi Cresson, and his folks. His lineage came from France, Champagne country, and Picardy came to the United States in the 1630s, and from that line down, I'm going to generate from this a War of 1812. We'll go up this line. And then a father, son that were in the Sons of the American Revolution, all out of this same line. I'm involved with a Burleson family research group. We have about 1,100 followers that are very keen on research of that family name. We have a recollections newsletter that averages about 100 pages every 6 to 8 weeks. We have a Facebook page called Cousining. And in the way of merit badges, as you're saying, this will be my first, and I'm very proud to have it. And I thank you for having me.
Hey, Jim, I've got a question. You've been in law enforcement over in Farmington. Do you know Lieutenant Leaphorn and Jim Chi from the Hillerman novels?
I don't. However, I will tell you that 11 miles up the road in the Tasuki Pueblo is where that is filmed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we see periodically the stars of those shows, and it's pretty much a fan favorite in this neck of the woods.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome. Well, welcome both brothers. So let's in the tradition of our camp, yeah. In the tradition of our camp, we're gonna go ahead and take a 5-10 minute break, comfort break, if you will. Restrooms are in that way through double doors. I don't know if you get to.
Yeah, I came through that way.
You can get either way.
So let's have a short adjournment for 10 minutes or so.
Freaking hot.
Before we get going here,
Okay.
before we get going, the camp takes we do a 50-50 wrap. And the proceeds go to the general fund, of the camp. And brother Dave Moore back here, has the tickets. Okay, here we go. So, pick someone to draw a ticket.
Okay, first I want to announce that we have taken in $170. Wow. It's a split, $85 for each. The camp gets 85, Brother Dale gets that for us, for our treasury. The rest goes to whoever wins this. I've got a lovely sister here who's from Bigger Terrace.
So they can't, or they can donate if they can't play, right?
No.
Sure. It's all access.
We collected $170 if you're in here. So 50-50, and they're picking the winner back here.
Those who want to know, who does the
And
math?
of course, I've got my tickets.
Let Brother Jeff read this number because I can't see it with the glasses.
I bet you it starts 102.
Yes, 102 is the first three. Last three is gonna be 740.
Oh,
That's gotta be wrong.
Yeah.
0.
Who won it?
Wait, hang on. It's 102 740.
102-740.
Anybody got it?
Someone's got it.
There you go.
Did I get that right?
740?
Yeah.
She's
740.
1,
You got it? Yeah.
2, 7,
You got it.
40.
Morgan's got it.
Morgan's got it. There we go.
No,
Little insider trading over there. This thing is rigged.
Well, the first time we did that up in Flagstaff, you remember our new recruit's wife got it.
Yeah.
So it's- I don't know what that was all about.
Well, Brother Morgan, we don't like doing this. We usually do it afterwards, but we like it. And if you don't like it, he wants to donate his proceeds to Brother Dale for our treasury.
Yay!
This is a scholarship fund.
All of that's going back to the scholarship fund. Here's your box. You should have that.
Will you be able to mail that stuff, or you want me to try to do it, or?
I can mail it.
Okay, that'd be easier than me having to run into King.
Oh, no, I could do it right. I got all of the stuff home and that'll get out in the mail to Brother Burleson probably Monday.
yay.
All right. Cool. Well, back in business, folks. Here we go. So that brings us to the officer reports. Senior Vice Commander, do you have any reports for us? No reports. Junior Vice Commander, do you have a report?
No, I don't. Just keep getting those applications in and I'll keep trying to crank them out as quick as I can.
You're on it all the time.
And we can remind our new brother Jim that
if he wants to do, what are the other ones called, Lynn? Supplementals. Supplemental ancestors. You can always add more ancestors to your record if you wish. I think they're $5 a piece or something like that. If I recall right.
Okay.
Times 300, that's front pocket.
That's a lot. That's very good. Okay. Thank you, brother Scott. But we have no council members here today. We have no memorials officer here today. We have our patriotic instructor here today, Brother Heller. Do you have anything for us?
No report, Commander.
Thank you, sir, Brother Heller. All righty. And that brings us to our old business. So, Brother Dale, if you want to bring up the pictures of our front of Winslow. Now, there's an arrow button that's going to be on the right over here that you can just use that to scroll between them.
Yeah, but I have to get to the share.
Yeah, we'll share this. So on June 21st, most of you already know that we did the last soldier of Navajo County, Arizona. This is the last Union soldier buried in that county, in the city of Winslow. So he wasn't too close to the corner that you could stand, but it was close enough. Let's see
if I can move this.
And the main cemetery in town, he was buried. And thanks to the memorials officer and to Brother John Hort, who is not with us today. Brother John did all the concrete work in there. And just, the star that you see in the middle is a bronze, a 6-inch star. It is last soldier buried in this county. GAR for the Grand Army of the Republic, which is our predecessor to the Sons. And that is forever at the base of Lieutenant Hart's grave there. And Dale, if you just want to scroll through some of those pictures.
He was a commander in the local GAR chapter out of Phoenix.
That's right.
Out of Flagstaff.
PEG Ransom.
PEG Ransom.
Ransom, which was based in Flagstaff, when they actually had a building for the meetings and stuff like that.
Building's still there.
And the building is still.
Of course, it's a sporting goods store, but hey.
Things change. But he was a commander up there back in the turn of the 1900s. He was a bigwig up there. He was in the Masons. He was with the GAR stuff. He was well known, and so we continue his memory and bringing it forward as much as we can. We see many. These are ancestors or descendants. Let's go the other way down. They're not that old. And point out here in the middle here our daughter's tent in Phoenix. President and her husband came up for the ceremony as well. It was very nice. They're all sitting in the shade because it was warm. And the wind was probably 30 miles an hour. So we instructed Brother Swanson and Brother Horton to lean into the wind and hold our flags up so it didn't blow to the next county. Or they'd be in Colorado by now, I'm sure. So that's Brother John Horton from David. It was a great ceremony. Our camp chaplain, Brother Key, Brother Dale, myself, and yes, it was Warren, son, sitting in that wool uniform. Thankfully, the ceremonies are only about a half an hour, so it's just pretty good. You can get in and out.
It's so nice to see the family there.
It's excellent. We've done 3 so far, and families have shown up each time. And that makes our hearts feel real good that we're not just doing it for ourselves. The very first one we did was up in Williams for Coconino County. And we knew there was an ancestor out there. They thought they were going to be okay. Yet now, the time of day came to do the ceremony. So we did the ceremony and we got all done. We were about to take down the flags. Here comes the car down. That was a warm. We did it again. It was great. And that first one was really good because there was a granddaughter of this man who was alive when he was still alive. Of course, she was very young at that time. And she remembered that he was very tall. And it's like, well, when you're 2 years old, the world is tall. And so that's pretty good. So pictures through there, just our DUCBW 10th president. Afterwards, we went over to La Posada and had lunch. And our camp picked up the tab for the descendants, which was a very nice thing to do. Brother Hort donated some, I donated some. And so we had a pretty good time there. That's probably all the pictures there. So that was our fun up in Winslow on the 21st. So that was pretty neat. So the next we have two more counties. Luckily, the counties in Arizona are big, and so we have two more counties under our jurisdiction in Arizona. That being Apache County, which I already have some information for that gentleman. He was buried on the reservation, so I have to go through Brother Mark. Mark Haynes was a past campaign, and he's still a part of our organization, and we will try to. He's on the reservation lot with his missile and stuff. So we'll work out a deal that hopefully we can get on the res and do our last soldier ceremony. It might be a joint ceremony. They might not let us at all. We'll try our best. And that's we'll be polite, we'll be respectful as we always are to make sure that we're doing things correctly. And then Mojave County, which Dale's shaking his head over there because you're going to be our point man from Mojave, being in Hackberry over there. So
Apparently he is buried in Mountain View Cemetery. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head, but Mountain View Cemetery in Kingman. I still need to coordinate with the cemetery personnel. They've not been real helpful to work with. I tried to work with them to get a VA headstone for a Civil War veteran in an unmarked grave, but that went nowhere.
Oh,
but I'll keep trying.
Yeah. The nice thing, we're not on a timetable, so it happens when it's convenient for all of us. We're all volunteers.
And we would like to do this probably across northern New Mexico if possible.
Right.
To discover the last Union veteran buried in each of the counties of New Mexico.
Right. I've been hoping New Mexico got that Camp 4 going by then. And I could give them the materials on how to do that. Like I got from you. So we'll be working on that as well. One at a time. We got short resources sometimes, so we'll do it as best we can. The third item on our old business was a private William Green grade marker update. Last I knew, they had ordered stone, but our department secretary has been giving us information as they get it, and I haven't heard anything in a while. So Private Green, if you're not familiar with Private Green, he was a veteran who in 20 was befriended by a gentleman who turned around and murdered him, taking his pension check or pension cash, if God, and left him in the desert to rot. And the guy was caught. He was in prison. He was buried. He died in prison. He was buried in the cemetery. Got a nice headstone and marker and everything. Private Green had no family, so they put him in the pauper's area of cemetery in an unmarked grave. So it is our duty as part of what we do to make sure that these folks have markers. And so this was a campaign started by Avery. I kind of threw a little bit of a tantrum when it hit me reading, hey, that hit home, that was wrong. When people are wrong like that, he should have a stone, he should have a marker, he should be recognized for who he is. Because he served just as well as anybody else did. And so that's what that's all about. Let's move along here to the 2025 ROTC JROT ceremonies. It was different this year because we had to jumped through hoops to get our little medal and certificate to the right ROTC cadet and JROTC cadet. We were kind of embarrassed at a couple of schools we went to because either we had the wrong certificate or we didn't have anything at all. And it was what had happened, I guess, remember the last meeting, that someone last year took the medals that they got and sold them on eBay. And there's people out there that just wrong. So in order to stop that, everything was funneled through one gentleman at the national level of the SUVCW. He did as best he could, but we had a lot of those. And I'm sure we're not the only camp or department. Did the other camps, Bob, did you hear anything down there?
Bill Blissett is having issues.
Bill's
down
having
there.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen next year. We'll to coordinate this discussion with the national encampment and stuff going on. Brother Dave and I are going to Houston in August to the national encampment, and I'm hoping that brother
Bring that up.
is it Jim Davidson?
Ken
Davidson.
Jacobson.
Ken Jacobson. I was way off. So I'll have to have that written down so I can corner him and see if there's any way that we can either change it back. Because I think he's just trying to collect them all at once and then send them all out at once. And that's not the way it works.
He wants to print them, mail them, and it just does not work. And we'd have to call, and you get falling further behind. We got sick, and they can't have one person doing that at national.
Well, plus he was having some health issues too.
Yeah.
So I know he's in the hospital a little bit of that.
Just a little.
But he wanted to collect them all and put them all out at once. You know, we've got schools going to early May all the way to mid-June. And we got to get responses back from them to fill out their paperwork so we can send it in to get the right certificates. And I remember showing up at Prescott Valley Bradshaw with the medal and the certificate, and the sergeant there goes, "We don't have anybody here like that." I'm glad he saw that because I would have been really embarrassed about that. But
Dale came to the rescue, at least from a certificate standpoint, that we can at least give the certificates out. But really, what happens is you start losing the credibility with these kids, their expectation of receiving a medal, their first medal, you know?
yeah, we were completely skunked at Prescott High School, which is one of the most prestigious high schools to do it in. I had nothing. I blamed it on U.S. mail because I thought they were in the mail. They were supposed to go directly to the school. But
That should be delegated to the departments.
well, I'm hoping next year that things are better. Something's got to change because I'm sure just that our department can't be the only one upset from.
So yeah, hopefully you could bring it up at the national encampment, maybe encourage them to form a committee to do it or something. But yeah, it needs to be resolved.
Yeah, exactly. So David and I will be down there. The department's senior vice commander, Mark Clark, thank you, is going to be there as well. He said he was going. So since he outranks me, I might let him be the bad guy.
And I believe we still have delegate spots available. If anybody else would like to go to Houston, there may be a chance to do so.
Yeah. Houston is the first full week in August. I think it's let me pull up my calendar real quick here.
August 7th through the 10th.
7th through the 10th, and 7th on the Thursday is a journey to San Jacinto Battlefield. That's right on the Gulf there. I guess it's a big monument there. That's right outside Houston. And then Friday and Saturday are the business meetings. And then Sunday morning is basically they have an internal meeting, and that's it. So Dave and I are going down on Wednesday night. I think we're going down, and we're leaving on Monday. We're gonna take Sunday and see relatives. So anyway, what you brought up, more delegates. If anybody wants to be a delegate, I don't know if they're going to Zoom this meeting or not.
I don't think they do.
No, I didn't think they have in previous years.
They haven't in the past.
They gotta have a computer guy down there. Gee, Christmas. All righty.
You want to volunteer?
And in fact, they haven't got the proceedings of the last 5 or 6 encampments out yet.
Are you kidding me?
They said it will happen this time. They don't have a Dale, we have a Dale. That's the way to go.
Okay, so I don't have anything else on ROTC ceremonies. National Encampment again, it's August, oh, it's already here, 7th through the 10th. Memorial Day ceremonies, we were at Citizen Cemetery and Brother Tim gave the Gettysburg Address. The camp walked in the procession. That's always a fun one at Citizen Cemetery. They have the people in the 1800s garb and stuff like that. We're all sweating in the sun just to say, and it's really nice. And the ladies are dressed up. Brother David did Camp Navajo Memorial Day. Did anybody else do a separate Memorial Day? It's
We did the Arizona Rough Riders.
Peter Rough Riders, yeah. And what was that?
That's 1898 Spanish American War.
Selling where?
Oh, at the Citizen Cemetery.
Oh, it's Citizens, okay.
Yeah, we watched War 5. We're the guys that presented state flags.
That's right, that's right, that's right. You and Jeffrey and Jackson
Yeah, I was gonna say Jackson.
and
you guys-
Avery.
Avery was there.
That's right, I forgot about that. I'm sorry, no worries. So that was nice that
Was
everybody
there a
was
lot
there.
of public at the one at Camp Navajo, Dave?
Yeah, I think there was probably about, I'm gonna say 80 or 90 people.
Wow.
And that's a fairly new cemetery. It's an Arizona Memorial Cemetery. And I say new, I'm thinking it's about 10 years old or just somewhere. I watched somebody come up and say it's 50. But it's, I was about 10 years old.
Jeff Westler's.
You're right down the street from where Jeff.
Yeah, they're on our property and all that, because they're on our side of the bridge and everything. I wanna say that you're probably right about the 10 years.
Okay, we'll stop right there.
Last I remember seeing them before I started working there and all that is that they were like half of the grave sites. And you could see that they were cutting down and the lawn and other stuff to make room for more burial. Plus they were putting in the wall for the cremations and everything. Yeah, so and they're still doing stuff to make it nicer and more respectful.
Yeah, okay, we're really nice at the cemetery, growing and growing and growing. It's in Belmont, so that's about 15 miles.
Just be
Watch
careful.
those
Right, it's here and there.
It's a really nice little place.
Cool. Really cool. All righty, for old business, unless there's anybody has any other old business, that's all I have for old business. So,
Maybe just a reminder on the JROTC, for our new brothers. It's really an honor to go to these high schools and universities to present the medals when we have them.
yes,
So,
it is. It's always, it's good to see kids that give a damn. I
Yep.
mean, that's really what it boils down to. And you think all hope is lost and you go to some of these ROTC things and you're going, yes, like Eagle Scouts, you go to Eagle Scout things. There's hope for humanity. So let's, that's right. So that's gonna open up, segue right into our new business, with Eagle Scout stuff and Tim, if you wanna talk about what's been going on with Eagle Scouts.
As I'm selling patches, our relationship with the Eagle Scouts started with me, and then Rick, and then Hal, and Steve, but anyways, it just continued to grow. And at least from my standpoint, we have such a strong relationship. And I'm trying to kind of say that's an example for the entire state of Arizona. The other chapters haven't picked up on that. They can do the same thing that we're doing. And I'm not saying I planned it to happen, it's kind of a happy sense. But we're just so fortunate to be connected with that group. With that said, is that last week I had to send a report to National on the total number of presentations made, number of presentations made to Eagle Scouts. And out of 15, 11 of them were from Grant County. So we did 75% of the presentation. And that's not to take away from specialty were winter camp. They had effectively 2 each. But we're just all going at our own pace, you know, and it's just not an easy thing. And I think we're just fortunate to run into James Lefty, first of all, was an Eagle Scout, and now Patches, I think our program continues to grow and be motivated still on. And I guess I would say the one thing out of my 10 years of this grant camp, the thing that I get most excited on is the Eagle Scouts, it's just incredible. If you do get a chance to be on the review board, do it. Do it.
Do it, do it. Get up here for a second, Tim. Patch, come on up. So, for those who don't know, Tim does not only Grant Camp Eagle Scout coordination, which we did have an honor for not too long.
Aiden Neeson, no,
Yeah,
Ellen
Peterson.
Peterson, thank you.
So we had that honor for it. That was very nice, but we saw Patch, Quentin. And so Tim's also with the department doing overall Eagle Scout type stuff. Tim is asked to step back from doing it for our camp. And I think someone in our camp that's with the scouts.
In my honor. To do my duty to God and my country, obey the scout law.
Yes. So I approached Greg at our last Eagle Scout review board that we had over at the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, that was cool.
Just last week. Got another one coming up on Tuesday for twins.
That's right.
And asked him if he would step in to be our camp's Eagle Scout coordinator. He says, "What do I got to do?" I said, "Nothing. You're doing it already." So he's a natural for us. This is our foot in the door to stay with the Eagle Scouts, to be able to honor them for accomplishments and everything. So thank you for helping us out.
It's my honor and pleasure.
It's been great. So
You guys just blew me away. I'm new here to chair the Eagle Scout Board's review. I did it 20, 30 years ago as a professional scout back in Nevada. So I just needed to do some homework. But I went to that first Eagle Court of Honor. They asked me to speak because they all know Patches. And I walked in there, and my whole daggone board sat down next to me. And I did not expect these guys to show up at an Eagle Court of Honor. And showed up. They showed up in uniform. They showed up with a certificate. They showed up with a gift for my Eagle candidate. It was, I'm gonna miss you guys. I just have to be a.
that's how Grant Camp rolls.
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, you're right up here. So Sir Timothy D. Prater, past department man. I'm sorry about the past. Certificate accommodation for meritorious and distinguished service and perpetuating the memory of the Grand Army of the Republic, and for the men who served the Union from 1801 to 1865. I present you the certificate for all the work you have done for our camps and Eagle Scouts. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. So thanks, Dick Rivera.
Well, I've said enough,
Thank you, Tim.
but I sure think I get back to it. But anyway, I can't say enough about, for those of us that started off with Grand Camp back in 2015, and to see us all mature and, you know, kind of get into JRTC and Eagle Scouts and this and that. It's just such a phenomenal opportunity, and as a telling Passions, the camaraderie among this group is just unmatched. It's really, thank you.
That's right. And we have a good time. That's right. So that's our Eagle Scout catch up, and that's going to be an ongoing thing. Anybody wants to help with these border reviews, I know you're expanding it to try to include other civil entities around the Prescott area.
Board is growing.
And that's great. But thank you again. We have no council members here, but this is the time to start providing the 2026 candidates for officers of the camp. If you want to be an officer of the camp, you'll have to notify Brother Horton, who's in the process of moving to Tennessee, I believe, so he might not be too much more active. Brother Archibald and Brother Diatley. And those of you in the SAR might see Dennis over there more than over here.
Is John gonna continue to do first days or?
I do not know what's going on. And they're in the process, they're in move mode right now. So your brain goes somewhere else. So I'm not gonna push them. So I will make sure that I get an email out to the board telling them to start getting candidates, because in our October meeting in Flagstaff, we will be voting on this slate of candidates for next year.
Do consider volunteering to take a position, even if it's not an elected position. We've got all the other ones, memorial officers, guides.
The first page is all of the officers and positions in the camp. And if you can help out in any way, that's great. It spreads the load out a little bit. So we don't have one guy doing everything, or two guys, three guys doing everything. That'd be nice. Next thing on the new agenda, new business, is the camp portrait collage. Now, Brother Dale, I'm gonna hand this off to you. I think you've had it up on the screen already a couple times. Who are those guys?
Okay, well,
It doesn't look like you. I think it's the head. It doesn't look like you, man.
Since retirement, I found too much time.
There we go.
Better.
That's better.
But
Every once in a while this morning.
I happened to locate this old GAR poster from Indiana, a GAR post in Indiana, and I thought, what a great idea! I would love to do this for Grant Camp. So I've got started. We've got up here our past camp commanders. Our original one, Dave Swanson. Our second, Mark Haynes. Myself, I don't know how I ended up in there. But Bill Smith and Tim Prater. And what I would like to continue to do, I've got our current commander here, our senior vice and our junior vice, and our camp chaplain. On this side, I would like to put our council members, and then on the rest of the poster, is any of you that can get a nice, just head and shoulders portrait of yourself with your medals. I would love to see the medals in each of them, and email them to me or whatever. But I would love to continue to do this, and at some point in time, if I can fill out all of these portraits, I would like to take it to Staples or some printing company and maybe print up an 11 by 14 on nice paper. And if people would like to have one to frame to put in your den or office, I would be glad to do that. So
Artboard.
yeah, could get it laminated, whatever you want to do. But think about having your significant other, maybe when you get if you've got a hat, whatever, and your medals, get them on and get a picture taken and email it off to me. I would really appreciate it. The current roster with everybody's email address will be attached to the minutes when I send them out. So you'll know how to get in touch with them.
That's right. Yeah, or send it to me and I'll send it off.
Is it a good idea?
Yeah, I'm excited by that.
Great.
Yeah. I'm surprised you thought of that.
Yeah, really. So am I.
A couple weeks ago, I thought, oh, it's a great idea.
Oh, that's.
All the old guys did it. Why can't we? Why not? So that's just excellent. So that was that. I had a picture on there from Citizen Cemetery that I wanted to bring up. in our next order of new business, just a real brief.
Oh, okay.
That guy. So when we come in as,
Wait a minute, I have to go back and share that. So,
okay, go ahead and share that first.
that one.
That way our brothers see, okay, there we go. So the entrance is to the right here. And you come in, and if you keep going to the left a little bit more, there's our plaque that Brother Tim got us up there in the cemetery. But we noticed last time we've got nothing. Those are Confederates. Come on, guys. Now, we've got all of these different markers here, but we don't have one for us. So, I would like, what's that?
I may have found a company that has a union one for that.
Well, we'll just do a GAR.
Oh,
So my proposal is for the camp to purchase a GAR marker on a
One of the flag holder.
with a flag holder type
Okay.
things. And kind of maybe include it for here. We gotta upscale these guys. I mean, we don't have a marker there, so everybody else has a lovely marker. So let's go put a GAR marker there, and because we're certainly all the work we do with Citizen Cemetery in Prescott, I mean, we should have it. This year is pretty small.
to be fair.
Yeah, they're only about that big.
See me feel it.
Speak up just a little.
To be fair, I am also part of the SCV, so it's Confederate Veterans.
Huh?
You guys got the nice plaque and everything, and we're trying to figure out if they'll let us put one up in there as well.
Ah,
So,
competition is good.
I mean,
Turnabout's fair play, right?
I mean, come on, I mean. you
I'm
guys
not
got the
trying to
nice plaque.
upstage anybody. I just noticed all the markers there of people that support it.
No,
And
no,
I know we have by the flagpole across that driveway there, we have a real nice
Guess
bronze.
it's not in the picture, is it?
No, I took that picture when I was standing there and going, okay, we need one there too.
But I was
It's
just, what you just mentioned. We had, of course, had never done such a thing in US Grand Camp. And so we went before the city council, we went before the Yavapai board.
yeah,
And we were just kind of putting all the stuff together. It's a long haul, but you just gotta keep on walking.
yeah, and I also like what you're thinking of putting one there too, and I fully support it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's we were trying to also see if we can get something like what Avery did for this camp and all that up there as well.
I don't know why not. There's soldiers of both buried there. So
I get that, but you also gotta think too,
Looks like
because
the
people
two
are
on the
trying to
left.
still erase history and they're still even coming after the Union, just that,
Who on the
it's
left
right
is
from it.
Confederate.
They wanna wipe out the Confederate side completely, so then it's gonna be like, well, who were the Unions fighting?
Yeah.
Really, that's CSA, you got it right there.
yeah, people have
That is,
nothing else better.
isn't that the Confederate?
Yeah, both of those are
Yeah,
Confederate.
two Confederate, and I couldn't zoom in enough on those other ones to see what they are. American Legion,
American Legion.
okay,
But go to the other side.
I don't recognize that one.
That one's probably Vietnam or Korea.
But I think those first two on the other end
Yeah, the other ones are
are
yeah.
Confederate, I think.
I looked at it more like we had all these other markers and we weren't there. So
That's a
even though we had the plaque.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my motion, if it is, just is for Brother Dale to order us a GAR marker. Send it to my address.
Very big though. I wonder if we can get, Dave says he may
Those
have.
aren't that big. They're still 6-inch stars.
Oh,
Well, I think I got one at home when I was with Commander Picasso decades ago. We
Okay,
had a bunch of these, and I think I would have a spare GAR marker at home. I'll just bring it up in a second,
yeah, just bring it up next meeting. That'd be great.
if I can find it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave that at that point, this point in time. We haven't done any GAR marker ceremonies in a little while. We should probably get back to that too. But that's all I had for that. The next item here is Brother Moore, our idea guy, our gardener camp, our 50-50 guy back here, brought to my attention the idea of having memorabilia for sale for a grant camp in order to make a few bucks off each sale that would go into whatever fund deemed worthy that we all as a collective voted for. There's another thing to share on that one. There's actually a couple of things.
Where are they at?
Bring up the this guy. Well, first of all, let's bring up this guy. The logo. David.
Okay, can you go back and share that?
Oh boy, free try. So brother Dave, come on up with, you got a box of fun back there, I think.
That's not the one I'm looking at.
So the whole idea, we got two parts to what's coming up here. One is to kind of accept. Did you get that share okay? Can you guys see that over Zoom?
Yeah.
Not yet? Okay.
I did not share it here. Hang on, I'm working on it.
And there, top of the left.
Sure.
Now,
There we go. You guys should see that now. You don't?
says we are screen sharing.
Brother Lynn, can you see our Department of Southwest grant, picture of grant?
Yeah,
Oh, you can see it, okay. So it's up there. So it's twofold. One is to kind of adopt, I don't know if we've ever had an official grant camp logo. We certainly have the logo of the SUVCW, which we got to be very careful about how we use that. But maybe for grant camp, we can adopt a something like this. Again, look at that if you will. Dave and Dave's wife Laura had worked diligently on different presentations that I had shot down a few and try sorry brother, it's part of the job.
Tim, another Tim could not be the face.
So, but the story here is that your
My niece, who has started a business, and she's a webmaster like you can't believe. She created a website if we wanted, Sons of the Union Veterans, you go into it, click it, it might be on your computer.
yeah, we'll bring that up in just a second. I wanted to
Her husband's a veteran who's disabled. And it would help them out financially. Now, what's the kicker on this whole thing? We get a cut of everything. Anybody who wants to go on there, we get $5 for t-shirts, $5 for this and that, $3 for the covers. And I've got some there to show you.
start pulling some of these out.
Now,
So again,
where's the old one? Because this one hasn't been approved. This is nice quality.
So that's SUVCW logo. We're for demonstration
That's-
purposes only.
So look, here's one of the covers, and again, we can put Grant Camp on here or whatever. These are quality stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all from China. She can get Under Armour and stuff like that also. We'll pass these around.
yeah,
Also, this was kind of cool. This is the big one. You get US Grant Camp on this. And we are.
Yes. This is just for demonstration purposes only right now.
This, if we can use this or not.
That
So
might be
we're
part of
on
the
hold
agenda.
there. It's pretty heavy and that's metal. You can get other sides, because anyway, it'll be on the website. And Brother Rick was eyeballing this one. I don't wear white. It's not Labor Day.
No,
After Labor Day, yeah, that's cool. But this is a little.
So windbreaker.
Breaker also.
Oh, that's pretty. There's a sweatshirt in there, I believe, as well. So just the different ideas of what can be done.
No, and Brother Rick looks good in this one. This is the back.
That's the front.
Again, we'll get a cut of this. And, you know, it's her business and she'll be the webmaster, no charge, all that stuff. And, take the pressure off Dale and keep track of it and send us a check quarterly if we want it out there, like, to Dale direct. And these are some neat stuff. So that's the idea.
And if I understand, it would not be the SUVCW logo, it would be our logo.
Yeah, this is just some examples that we did.
I had to have an example, and this wasn't approved because he kept shooting it down. And I said, well, I'm gonna use this, and he says, oh my gosh, I had to talk to one of the attorneys, Tim, said, well, you could use it, but until it's approved, you can't use it. I said, okay.
So part of the trip to Houston is gonna be just feeling out, how do I get that license if we wanted to do just an SUVCW up here, not necessarily the big one on the back for a boxer or something, but also, again, the grant. Oh, you've got the website, huh?
This would be the website that you would go to. And it'll be emailed to all those who want to look at it. And then she's got quite a few items that.
We wouldn't have to pay for web hosting or anything like that?
Nothing.
No.
So the only thing you're caught with, and I was too, is I paid if this stuff is, it depends, he had stuff going to England and it cost the person who bought it, not our stuff, $5 here for shipping and stuff. But I think this whole box cost me about $45 to get it all weight wise and everything. And if you go to the bottom of this website, all the disclaimers on there, the return policies, everything's at the bottom. Wow, damaged everything. So it's a no-brainer, really, if you guys want to go forward with it.
So Dale brought up a good point. Number one, it doesn't cost our camp a penny to do this. And that's the nice part about it. And number two, the prices on things I didn't think were out of line with anything else buy out on the web.
Right.
And if the camp gets a few bucks for each one,
Yeah, it was again, $5 on the bigger items. The mug's $3. That's a nice mug. And of course, Brother Tim showed up and gave 3 mugs away. So get rid of those mugs to prize.
Brother Greg.
Number 3 gives you an online presence.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's just good for people knowing that you are. Okay. The SAR, I know. Okay. But before I came here, I had no idea of the SUVCW.
Right. So to be very clear right now, display of the logo for the national has to be licensed. And we would go through and make sure that we get approval or not, or we take it off of our website.
Right.
But we would like to have your opinions on that. Kind of like the same flavor you were doing with our portraits, the opaque version of Grant there. Either accepting that as maybe possible what we can wear on these
US Grant.
on these shirts and mugs and stuff like that. Yeah, open it up to the floor, Jim, if you had some.
I like it. What we can also probably do too, and all that, is if it's gonna be for just this camp, or is it gonna be for national?
The website would be open to the public.
Yep, no, you're good. Sorry. What was that again, sir?
The website would be open to the public.
Well, I meant like, is the website directly for our camp or the nationals to be then opened up to the public? Like, is it, like, who's the website going for, us or national?
Us.
It would have to be us because national goes through their own quarter.
It's kind of like our store for Grant Camp number 3, rah, rah, rah.
So
That's
That's
what
on
we're
the
trying to do.
national, Brother Rick knows too. Some of you guys have Michigan, you're getting some of the stuff from a camp in Michigan.
Yeah,
Why not us get those proceeds, even if it's $3 or $5, percentage or whatever we can do, and have it funneled this way and give the
That's
their that.
yeah.
West.
Told the SUVCW care of the whole foundation. They sell stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say, since it's our website, right?
Right.
put a little history in there about what the Sons of Union do, what our camp does. That's why I was wondering, is it gonna be for like the national website kind of like thing, or is it gonna be just about our camp? That way, when people do wanna buy stuff in camp and all that, they can then look at our history, look at what we've done for like the last Union soldiers, Memorial Day, for like an event.
Remember, this is, I've got to get that approved by my niece, who's very cool about everything. And, I don't know what exactly she could put on there, but if we get the presents, we get our newsletters from the brothers and everything else, and we have all that information.
Yes.
Well, we need a little bit of history on it, I agree.
Yeah, so as you know, websites, they migrate, they become their own entities. Initially, we're just looking for something with a grant camp logo that we can sell, make a couple bucks for the camp, and we can walk around saying, that kind of stuff.
Excellent. Councilor Briefly, want to set theirs up and then.
Well, let me ask you, is this something you'd want to put on the department website? On our own website?
Again,
That way you have all his stuff on the department website, but it's not specific to the camp.
Well, the specific Grant Camp 3 is what I was zeroing in, so that we get that portion. That's all. However you guys want to do it.
natural progressions of things start moving out. Excellent idea.
But yeah, it sounds like to me, on the department website, each camp has a tab, correct? I believe. And if we could put a link on that tab to this site.
Yeah, you just have to talk, brother.
Yeah, for those who know,
Does it now?
Purchase?
Purchase.
We need a little help here sometimes, so not much, a long time.
So let's first of all go back to the picture of Grant, because we really have two parts to this thing. One is that everybody in this room that's a brother has to say, I like this, I don't like this, I'd like something different. As for what's going to represent General U.S. Grant Camp, I thought that, it was a good idea to have the man himself there as one. There are other grant camps in the United States, but there's only one, camp number 3 in Arizona. So, what do you think?
Wondering if we want to have Grant in a military uniform.
We had that before.
Yeah, that looks like his presidential portrait.
That is his presidential portrait. So the idea is maybe we can change it to Avery. Jeffrey's got a
Antietam.
So,
kind of hold that up for the room there,
Oh.
just around people.
so.
That's an option if we'd rather have General Grant in his blues. That might be a good idea.
Do you want to put it on the camera to let them?
The only
see?
thing I'm gonna add to it is when you get into embroidery on some of this stuff, it's gonna be available for a little bit more, and it's not that much different. The colors seem to, that's why I do this on this machine. If you want it blue, can they make it blue?
Maybe
That's
change
the
it into
addition
that.
I heard from her. That, we can do this, but it might not be exact. So this is pretty close.
I like that.
Do you? I like that.
This one here was based on that.
Right.
Right. And you know what? In the spirit of what Dale already did with that one, I know we've got the Arizona. That I don't know if now that's just us, right? Too.
Yeah.
If we can take that and put it on here. and-
Yeah, technically our camp is supposed to be the northern counties in Arizona,
Right.
but we've been taking in New Mexico as well.
I think I presented to the Rick and he shot it down, but I don't recall it.
You had two pictures. I kind of like the sepia version
I
better,
was doing it,
but
but it's
that's just me. Not the one making the decision.
Then it's-
You guys.
Yeah.
hard for.
I think I like the color
the
of
sepia.
that, because you don't have to worry about, it, like Dave's talking about, is blue gonna be blue with this embroidery or whatever, right? You get something in that order, it just seems classier
Okay.
than just a picture of him in uniform. I don't know,
Yeah.
to me, that just seems classier.
That was the idea that that because of the different colors and stuff, let's try
Sure
this.
did that.
Of course, Tim's input, brother
We could do
Tim,
something like that.
said that he looks older.
The parchment
And
color
I
back.
think I look like him.
And it still has the stars, buttons, of blue uniform.
So Brother Jeffrey found
One
another
question I have
picture
with that.
that was interesting. A grant that we could still maybe make it the sepia type colors here.
Yeah.
It's a younger one.
I made that request back. I commented, I was just thinking of bus, I wasn't.
Who is that?
And everybody knows the presidential.
Hey Jeff, I think we better hold the pictures, because I'm trying to remember how many we got, like 4.
I'm just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, so we got some
Well-
choices.
Yeah, so we won't be able to come up with a final decision maybe today on that, or if you've seen 2 different pictures. If everybody's saying, yes, I want this particular picture, then we can have Dave draw up another example and you can email it out. We can do a Zoom call to accept it, or we can wait till the next meeting and make that a vote.
We might have an option if you can zero it down to 2 pictures. She's pretty sharp. And if you could get another picture, and I agree with you, because my wife liked that picture, I gotta agree with her also. That the grant picture, the older one, the presidential, is good. And then if Jeffrey gets this one other picture, then she could probably do 2 different things.
Yeah. I was drawn to that.
Like that.
Yeah. I just want to bring one thing up as I'm looking at Jeff's picture, that it's grant. But it doesn't, you look at that. There's Jim. Look, when the grant picture, when people think of Ulysses S. Grant, they think of the presidential picture. No, Steve doesn't. But, yeah. Yeah, so along that line, yeah, kind of a, what do they call it, sepia picture, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I guess, so what I'm hearing, everything we want to take and see examples of the 2 pictures that he showed. If you want to text those to me, please. Then I'll get them to you and maybe she can color up, she being his wife.
If be willing, I'm kind of speaking ahead, but I knowing her, she probably could play either one, and if you wanted the one with this one, you'd get it. If you wanted the one with something else, you might be able to get it. But I'd say limit it to only about 2. Because of the colors involved, if it's embroidery, I can't think of it.
Okay.
Otherwise, our rich wife will be doing some of it to help us out.
If there's an embroidery involved, that's what she does. Yeah.
She should probably get in touch with Jeff Burgess about coordinating with the department. Already has a web host
Okay.
and all of that.
Sure.
So
Well,
with
this is
Grant
just
Camp,
something for the merchandise, so we would hang a link off
Yeah, right.
our page. I mean, so let's just take step number 1, adopt a picture and just, we'll vote on this in October. To go forward when we get everything, but just a light show of hands. Do you think this is a good idea?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? It's
It's that, when you walk around with that jacket on, you're advertising market.
that's right. And the beauty is, it doesn't cost us a penny. And they volunteered to do all of this for us, so thank you. Thank you. And then we will continue this conversation in October. And hopefully you'll be able to adopt that. Yay. So,
Thanks.
okay, cool.
Thank you, David.
So Brother Swanson, I got you down on the next item here. Well, we're talking about there's a certain camp that has a 10th anniversary coming up here.
Well, several years ago, I gave a talk about the history of grant camps, so I'm not about to repeat that. Those are just notes. But, so on September 11th, 2015, our camp was officially chartered. So here we are in our 10th year, and pretty soon September 11th is going to come up. Does that date sound familiar for some other reason? But I was going to say, it just seems like yesterday, but on December 8th, 2014, I received authorization to organize this camp. And on August 22nd, 2015, we had our organizational meeting. And the rest is history. We have been blessed over the years with a whole list of great camp commanders. Here's one, here's a classic example of one right there.
Classic,
I'm serious. Oh, it's just great. So we've been blessed with great camp commanders. Not only camp commanders, but secretary treasurers. Our first secretary treasurer was Jerry Bloom.
Yep.
And then Dale stepped up, took over.
Tim was a
Tim was
Yeah,
there
Tim,
too.
and then I took over from Tim.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, so see.
I just filled the caps.
Yeah. And then, it's not just the officers and the secretary treasurers, but it's the brothers that make up the camp. All of them, from Jim to Steve to you name it, Dale, Jeff, everybody. This camp has been blessed with great officers and great camp brothers. And I'm proud to be part of this thing. So September 11th, raise a toast to Grant Camp, and we'll do it from there.
Yeah, I was thinking perhaps in Flagstaff, someone can bring a cake in or something like that. That would be a nice little thing for happy birthday, Grant Camp. This is Grant Camp's 10th birthday.
And my wife will make that cake.
And there we go.
Whoa.
So we will have a cake for our next meeting. And yes, you guys can come too.
And she's not in the room, yeah.
Whether or not you bring Bob along, that's a different.
No, well, so it doesn't have to be white cake, it could be layered cake for Glenn and Jim likes, older people like Glenn like it. We'll have a cake up there at the industrial side, which is what I need. Anyway,
So
we'll have a anniversary.
So happy birthday coming up, Grant
Yeah.
Camp. Great deal. The only other new events that I had were upcoming parades. We were, this is our DR4 band. Oh, yeah. Patriot Day parade in Williams. It's on the 6th of September. Can you make it, Sir Dale?
What?
Patriot Day parade in Williams. September 6th. I don't know when your deer hunt is. Yeah, we gotta work around later. So that's whoever can make it to Williams on that, it's a great time. The city puts it out, walk a mile up the middle and try not to get wet. It happens. I think it's gonna be September 27th is another family discovery day at the Mormon Church in Prescott. We were there last year. Just pulling the shingle out, this is where we are. I haven't heard anything about that this year yet. So when it happens, we'll have an appearance there as well. And we were talking earlier about Dave Williamson here and Jeffrey about the Veterans Day parade at Prescott. We walked with the Rough Riders last year. This year we're thinking about combining Rough Riders and the Confederates and the Unions, all as one presentation in the Veterans Day Parade. I think that's an excellent idea. And so that's coming up. Does anybody else have any new business?
Do we need to get registered for any of these?
The 9/11 parade was just, and I sent an email to the guy, he says, thank you. And yeah, he said, no registration necessary this year. The city does it free. They provide the police shutting down the streets free, and they used to have it Flagstaff. Flagstaff went at $5,000. So it's like, no, we're not going to
What
go.
about Veterans Day?
So Veterans Day, I am gonna be a pain in their rear and all that calling to see about, and I'm hoping maybe Dave will help me.
They should let me know Susan like or something on this.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have standing in the parade.
I do, yeah, we've been doing it for so many years.
yeah. And we've been doing the Sons of the Confederates for the past 2 years, I wanna say, 23, 24, yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is, what about the Christmas Day parade? Or Christmas parade in Prescott? It'll be a lot cooler too and all that, and then we also get some stuff, we can put up a tree on a trailer or,
That's a thought. if we could do that as a combined thing, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
Let's bring that to our October meeting,
That's what I was gonna say, that
Because
would
I don't-
be later.
even though they're playing Christmas Vacation on TV again in July. I don't want to think about Christmas right now, unless you're on the Hallmark Channel. So, other than that,
But it's one more thing, that's all.
it is one more thing, yeah. And anything we can get our face in the public on, that's a good thing, and they're patriotic, and it's nice. So, no other new business, we'll move on for, good of the order comments, from anybody that has anything you want to bring up. That's awesome, thank you. Thank you.
So I have an idea. So as the Sons Confederates, we will also want to kind of do a plaque to honor both sides, maybe at the courthouse if they let us. It could be a small plaque and all that, not like a big statue or anything. But because during the Spanish-American War, when Bucky O'Neill was marching down, I want to say it's Curly Street right there, right?
That's
the
right, right.
They were led by both Union and Confederate soldiers marching off the younger generation now off to the Spanish-American War. And maybe put something there like both in, tandem as brothers in arms instead of enemies after the war, between states. They were marching and as brothers in arms. So maybe put like a small plaque and all that up at City Hall or
I will task you with bringing that idea up at our next meeting.
yes, that's
And we'll put that in our new business for our next meeting. And, I know we're running a little bit long today. I apologize to folks.
no, I'm sorry.
But that's okay. That's a good idea. Let's talk about that in October. But if you want to go ahead and put something together for that, that's what you have in your head about what do we want to say, what do we want to look at, and that kind of stuff. That'd be great. Let's do that.
And you have John's card too, so
I do.
all three of us can be,
Absolutely. And we can meet somewhere for lunch sometime if you want that too. That'd be
Yeah.
fine. That'd be fine. Another thing for the good of the order comments, when we're talking about what we did up Winslow, for our other families, we presented a plaque to. This family's all over the country, and there's a lot of us, a lot of them. They all came up with the idea that the pictures that we have up there, maybe just do a collage type thing. Now we could do that on our YouTube channel. I can put something together with progressions of that, maybe the words that were spoken. Maybe that's all we need to do. We should have something. I know family is still in my in baskets and saying, we'd like to see all those pictures.
Yeah.
And so I just haven't had time. I wanted to come through this meeting for us to see what you brothers had in mind for that. But
Didn't we have a brother that did some videos for us before? Was that Dick Mellick?
Dick did those, right. I could certainly put together those pictures with, so many seconds on each picture, and it just rolls through as a YouTube presentation, put that on our YouTube channel, and then send the link to them.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense than trying to do a plaque for each one of the families.
Who's gonna get it?
Yeah.
I mean, the gal that gave us most information wasn't there. She's up in Washington. And there's a little bit of things going on in the family there that I don't want to get involved with. So that I'll put something together and I'll put it out on YouTube and have you guys kind of take a look at it, and then we'll let it go to the family and say that's what we got. So, all righty. Brother, any other order for the good of the camp or whether the order comments? All right. Brother Heller, did you have anything in mind for a patriotic presentation today? Brother Heller. I don't think he says. Here it is. Jim, can you hear us? Oh, yeah. Unused.
Muted.
I do hear you.
There you go.
I don't
Did
have
you-
any for the good of the for the patriotic instructor this month.
All right, good deal. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce one of our brothers, Bob Cox. Robert Cox, sorry, there we go, who's going to do a presentation on my cousin General Grant and college. So the floor is yours, sir. We have a PowerPoint presentation that you'll have to
find it here.
Yeah, it's the bottom one there on the main screen. There, yep. And then you'll have to share that.
Okay. Now,
And I'm gonna sit over to the side here. I'll point.
how do I get back to the Zoom window? Share it. Let's see. Yes. Bear with me, Bob. Yes.
Where did it go?
Top
Upper
left.
left-hand corner.
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
There we go, brother. Should be able to see that now.
Okay, then go to the first photo, Dale. Very good.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yes, okay. Well, thanks, Commander Stevens, all the brothers of Grand Camp number 3. It's really been fun to be here today and pleasure to sit in on your meeting. So I'm going to introduce myself further by showing you that I was last July, I was sitting and chatting with my cousin, General Grant, right there. That was his last home, and I was sitting on the front porch. It's a home known as Grant Cottage. It's at the top of Mount McGregor in Wilton, New York. And that was July 11th of 2024. As you know, I'm Bob Cox, and General Grant, the president, is my 4th cousin, 4 times removed. I'm one of the many such cousins using that description. Going a little further, I did some research, I did some emailing with some Grant historians, and I got one reply. The question was, how many living Grant cousins are there right now? The answer is unknown, but most likely tens of thousands to maybe well more than that. He had so many family members. So anyway, I am a 4th cousin. I'll get into that in a little bit, but there's a lot of us. Beyond that, I've been a son and a member of Picacho Peak Camp since 2014 and a brother of Grant Camp since 2016. I live in Phoenix. That's why you don't see me very often. I attend the Picacho Peak Camp meetings, but I knew I had to get up here at some point after I became a member and tell you how it is that I'm connected to Grant, and I wanted to be a member of your camp for that reason. Today, I've already introduced my special guest to you. Thanks for sitting through it, everybody. Early last year, Julie, my wife, was invited to teach a painter's workshop in Greenville, New York. Julie's a professional artist, watercolor painter, oil painter, and teacher, and she gets invitations from around the country and even in Europe. So she was invited to teach in Greenville, New York. I mentioned that to the brothers in Picacho Peak camps, and right away, 2 of the fellows that live in upstate New York, they said, you've got to go to Grant Cottage. It's less than an hour away from Greenville. So I told Julie I'm taking a day off from the workshop. She asked me to come with her to that workshop. I'm going to go for and help her. And so I did take a day off on Grant Cottage. Photo number 2. A friend of mine, friend of ours, and husband of one of the workshop painters, he's a history enthusiast too. So he joined me, and we took off for Grant Cottage early in the morning of July 11th. We got there just before our 9 a.m. tour time. It was a pretty large group of people, and we all felt stuffed into each room as they took us through the ground floor. So we had a really interesting and enjoyable tour and some history of the Grant family for the few weeks they were there. So that's going to share with you here initially. So some brief history. You might be aware that in 1884, General Grant, who was known as the hero of the Civil War or the savior of the Union, he was a 2-term president, 1869 to 1877. he had become world famous after the war, after his presidency. In 1877, he did learn that he didn't have long to live. He was diagnosed with inoperable throat cancer and tongue cancer. So therefore, he was in a race to finish his memoirs, which had become his only remaining way to provide for his family. Sadly, he had lost all of the family funds through unscrupulous friends of his in New York. Joseph Drexel was a friend of Grant and a wealthy businessman, banker, and philanthropist who owned a cottage at the top of Mount McGregor. Of course, he learned of General Grant's illness and realized the cottage could become a pilgrimage site for the Union veterans and their families. Drexel did assume that the federal government would take responsibility for the property once the former president moved in. Meanwhile, President Grant was making good progress on his memoirs at the New York town next. If the summer heat and humidity, the severity of disease made it very difficult to continue, especially at the pace Grant knew was required. He knew he was getting sick. He had to get the memoirs done. He hoped they would provide money for his family. In the spring of 1885, his doctors said, President Grant, you have to find a cooler place, a drier place to work. When Joseph Drexel heard this, he immediately offered the cottage as the place for the general and family to go. And the doctors immediately accepted that was a great idea too. So Drexel, learning that President Grant had died 5 weeks later, then expressed immediate desire to preserve the cottage and contents as a memorial. Unfortunately, at that time, the federal government declined to manage the property for Drexel and the Grant family. Mr. Drexel, again feeling the Union veterans would make pilgrimages to the cottage, discovered that brothers of the National Grand Army of the Republic and the New York Grand Army of the Republic, they were all very willing to assume those responsibilities. So that fact came in, and several legal steps, of course. Grant Cottage was born. So thank you, brothers of Grant Camp number 3, you among the thousands of other descendants of veterans of the Union Army, the Grand Army of the Republic. We thank you and all the seconds for taking on that job. So on June 16th of 1885, retired president and his family traveled by train, arrived, he settled into life on top of the mountaintop into the cottage. Explorer. President Grant made several trips from the cottage to the eastern overlook. Several hundred yards away from the cottage, he had to follow a circuitous trail to Mount Forest, where he was able to look out on a vista of American historic sites. Mark Twain was a friend who came to counsel to his friend. He went with it. He said, this view from this overlook I consider to represents the grandest scenery that I know of in America. That's quoting Mark Twain. Next photo, please. On July 23rd, at the age of 63, President Grant, just a few days after reading his memoirs, he passed away. He was my distant cousin. He died with family around the bed and his physicians. 8:08 a.m. is the time of day President Grant passed away. His eldest son, Frederick, walked over to the mantle and stopped the clock. It's been at 8:08 ever since. It's a French ceramic mantle clock that has not been touched in put into operation since that point. Meticulous preparations were made. The general was placed into a 7-foot-long casket, and he lay in repose at the cottage parlor. Streams of veterans came by every day. Grand Army of the Republic veterans, that's who you see there, guarded the grounds of the cottage and the casket as mourners streamed by. Floral arrangements you see here are the very same used on August 4th of 1885. The initial funeral took place inside the cottage. On August 8th, the train with Grant's casket and family stopped in New York City for the formal funeral. where over 1.5 million people, the largest crowd in the history of the United States at that time, gathered for the public meeting. Grant's wife, Julia, however, did not bring herself to appear in public. She remained at the cottage until the end of August. Grant's casket was then placed into a temporary tomb until replaced with a mausoleum in 1897. I want to mention that all these historical notes I've been sharing with you, I have located them in a book that I purchased at the Grant Cottage store. The book is Saving Grant Cottage by Steve Trim, a former Grant Cottage tour guide, and was published by Friends of the Ulysses S. Grant Cottage 30th Anniversary Edition in 2019. The photos you see today were taken by myself, the friend that went with me, and a few were taken from a video that I purchased from the box. So I want to share a few more videos, a few more photos with you taken that day when we were there. So, the first room we entered was Grant's office, just inside the doorway where you saw me sitting in the chair next to the photo of President Grant. In the office was a closed glass front bookshelf, which contained several items that had belonged to the president. Here you see an embroidered red, white, and blue pillow with the initials USG, as well as the president's hairbrush and comb and several toothbrushes. Next photo. Here we see a shelf of books, a Grant photo album, a stereopticon card, an engraved silver spoon, and other records. Next on the tour, we stopped at Grant's desk, where he wrote many letters, probably worked on his memoirs. You can see books, a mini chess set, personal items, a subscription card, other items all lying upon each one. So to summarize, if any of you ever have the opportunity to save your family, we're going to go to Grant Cottage. Do it. Take a day, have a great time. So maybe an hour from where you are, maybe half a day's drive, but it's well worth the time and effort. Well, we're all members of Grant Camp, so it's a chance to learn more about our camp namesake. Next photo. So I've been saying I'm a cousin of President Grant. How do I know that? How can I document that? I want to thank my grandmother and my uncle. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, told the story to her 3 children when each was old enough to care and remember that we are cousins of President Grant. Sometime in 1980, my mother's brother created a spreadsheet with the data. I took his spreadsheet and a software program called Draw.io to create this chart. The chart shows how my siblings and I are distant cousins of President Grant. In other words, on the chart, start in the upper right, and maybe you can't see it there. But very up here where it says stop and share, that is a box that has the name of Samuel Grant.
Yeah, gotta go back down there.
Probably an arrow on the left.
Arrow.
And it's just blocking us at the top.
Okay, anyway, so the right side is President Grant's lineage. Samuel Grant II and two sons, Noah and Samuel III. Here's President Grant's line, and his brother Sam Grant III is my lineage. Oh, here's my grandmother I mentioned, Clara May Lampson Polly, my mother Mary Jane, and that's me. So then you President Grant and my mother, grandmother, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather were 4th cousins. So I am removed from great-grandfather Curlbert. So I am a 4th cousin 4 times removed. There you go. That's how that works. Okay, now the next video. So one summer day in early June of 1957, Doc Stanley was returning home from Iowa from St. Louis, Missouri. Mom said to Dad we have to go to Galena, Illinois and show the kids the home of President Grant, who was their cousin. Dad did what he was told. So here's the 4 Cox children at that time. We had I have a sister born in 59. So this is my oldest sister, my next older sister, and are these guys twins? Yeah, they are. One of these two is me. Anybody want to take a shot?
The good looking one.
Yes. Well, next photo deal. So this photo I took from the 2023 Galena State Historic website. This is the same sidewalk you saw that black and white photo. Is this right here? Actually, down the steps a little further. So once again, thanks for your time and interest today. Do make the trip to Grand Cottage and go to Galena too. You'll appreciate the time and effort. It's been great.
Thank you, Brother Bob. Great presentation.
Yeah, great.
All right. So, brothers, our next meeting is going to be October 4th, Saturday, October 4th at the Verna Modern Mediterranean in Flagstaff. As in everyone, 11 for lunch, 12 for the meeting. We'll start to Zoom at about 11:45. There's usually a carpool or two going up from Prescott. So that's a good thing to do. Chaplain, if you want to come forward with our closing prayer.
Pray. Our Father in heaven, your trade will deal with the events of this meeting as you do proper. Please answer the heartfelt prayers of each one of us as permitted in your perfect love. Preserve us in health, strength, and integrity while we remain here. And when our mission on earth is ended, take us for a better world. In Christ's name, amen.
Officers, brothers, and guests, we're about to leave this camp to return to our respective homes. Let us strive to regulate our conduct, bring honor and credit to our order. Thank you for your attendance and devotion to our camp. I now declare General U.S. Grant Camp Number 3, Department of the Southwest, Sons of Union Veterans of Civil War, closed until our next meeting, October 4th, 2025 in Flagstaff.